Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, for the last couple of episodes, we've been working on this attack corvette-ish. This is basically also known as the Gunship Mark 1, mind that. I've got things that have changed. Well, first of all, we've got both the turrets. Both turrets now operational, which is good. Second of all, we've got gravity inside, which is also nice. We've got Tier 3 thrusters as our maneuverability stuff, and I believe I've got them in all directions. But the problem is, we have run out of platinum, which is required for thruster components, but it's also required for shield generator components. So the problem with that is that I'm not the current system that I've got, which is basically every time a nanite factory requires an object, it asks every assembler to get it, which means I get a lot of duplicate items. What I really want to do is I want to have a proper inventory management system so that this thing doesn't happen. Because if it doesn't happen, then I'm more efficient with resources, and then I can actually see how much resources I have. Because I really have no clue, and I do not want to count. It would also mean that we don't have a bunch of items that are just hanging in the nanite factories all the time. And to do this, we are going to be using Talden's inventory manager, also known as Tim, which is what I'm going to refer it to as. So yeah, we're going to be using scripts galore. So first of all, we're going to do a programming block. Programming. Let's find a thing that's not being used. Let's go to number 9. Actually, no. We'll go here because we only need 2 things. So first of all, we need a programming block. It contains a script and then a timer. And then, as well as that, we're going to need LCDs, but we can place those later. So first of all, we need to place our lovely and glorious programming block, and then we need to place our timer block. Pretty simple. Pretty damn simple. So these things should get generated by the nanite factories as they waste more and more of my energy, which is wonderful. But yeah, so now that we've got this, excellent, we now have things. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our lovely programming block. We're going to open the code editor, edit code editor. Thank you. We're going to browse workshop, I believe. And then I should have here. There we go. Talden's inventory manager. And so it's got, oh my god, a lot of code. And since I'm learning code, I might be able to make sense of some of it. Yeah, I can make sense of some of it, but I need to read through the entire thing to make sense of what's actually going on. But it doesn't really matter. So check code to make sure there's no bugs. Because if there are, that's going to be annoying. Good, it worked. Remember an exit. There we go. Right, so we should now have a programming block that works. Hooray! And we can run it. It does nothing, well, it will do nothing because we've not done anything with it. The next thing that we need to do is we need to go over to Shipyard, and then we need to find our programming block. And no, not programming, we want timer. We want our timer block, and we want the delay. It's recommended 5 seconds. 5 seconds, though usually I did 1, but also silent please, because that's just going to annoy the hell out of me if I'm piloting this when it's going beep, 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 like that. It's just going to be incredibly annoying. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to set up actions. We want to go to our programming block, and we want to do run, confirm, default argument. Yeah, fire alarm's on. It's a fire alarm test, it's lovely. Anyway, what we also need is we need to get the timer block itself, I think. Yep, timer block itself, and start, or rather, is there anything else? Trigger now? Yes, start will work. So basically what happens is when we press go, this thing will, this timer block will activate the code every 5 seconds, which is good. Yeah? Very nice. We're not going to do that yet, because first of all we're going to fix everything that's going wrong. So this episode we're not going to build anything more, we're going to clean up the massive amount of detritus that we have made due to our laziness, or rather my laziness. Nanite factory. So we've got like these amount of factories, and what we want to do is we want to get rid of exempt. Exempt was part of the old sorting system, which I've disabled, or rather it was disabled due to the beta update, or an update before that. It just wasn't working at all, for no reason. Actually, no, there are plenty of reasons why it wasn't working. Actually, if we have a look at factory 11 or 12, we might be able to see if there's anything in them, and if there isn't, then it was working. Oh yeah, there is stuff in them. It doesn't work. So we want to go back over to control panel, get rid of 11, get rid of 12. So this basically means that they are now regular, they are now counted as regular inventories, and therefore when I activate the inventory manager, it will take everything from it, which is good. That's what we want. Yeah, you can close that now. Okay. Next thing I want to set up is LCDs. LCDs are kind of mandatory. There we go. So let's flip it around to make sure that's the correct way around. Is it the correct way around? They really should have a thing that tells you which way up it should go. So I need to... yeah, I've got nano factories enabled for now. It won't be for long. So that we can get these LCDs up and running. I just need to make sure that it's the correct way. Here it is. We're going to need 2 of these, by the way. One of them is going to show data on ingots, and oh my god, for God's sake. This, I despair, I mean really. It was right, and then it wasn't. I mean, look, you can't expect me to be serious about that, can you? Right, let's just get rid of the rest of the LCD panels. Good. Let's try that again, shall we? That's all got the correct orientation, which is good. Okay. Now you guys should be correct. Good, 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 good. Right. I'm just going to drop. I don't need to actually drop anything in my inventory, so that's fine. Yes. I'm just carrying around some windows with me. But yeah, now we've got these 2 areas. They're not. Oh, that's going to look bad. That is going to look bad. Because what's supposed to happen is you can merge these. Let's actually check that. No, K. K is what we want. Show text on the screen. Meh, we can do that later. Anyway, so I'll be back in a second once I familiarise myself with what the next step is. Okay, so having looked at what we can do next, there's a few ways to go about it. So in Space Engineers, everything is sorted into 4 types, either ammo, components, ingots, or ore. Which are the 4 general types in which every single item in the game goes under. We'll talk about merging the list right now, but we'll use this one first. So what I should do is place Tim and then ingot, I believe is the correct one. Yes. If I type in Tim ingot, yes, and then I run the code. We now have things. Lovely, lovely things. So now it's going to show me all of the ingots I have, and I really, really wish that stopped doing the yellow highlighty thing, but you can get the point. So it says how much cobalt we've got out of a quota. A quota is like just set normally. Yeah, so we've got 2.29 million iron, if you wanted to know that, and we've only got 21.3 silver left, and 0.01 platinum. Right. And what we can do is we can go into here. We can press T to enter, or F actually. T is the one that I use, and we can go in here and we can change these quotas. So I can say I don't want 40. I don't want 14. I want let's say 50. But that won't change anything that you can see, because of course it won't. What else could we do? I mean, we've got maximum amount of cobalt, which is weird. We've got magnesium, which I actually want to increase to 10. So if we increase this to 10, yeah, 10k, then you should actually change the values once I do this. Yeah? Yeah? And then I run the code again. Run code. And it's changed it and formatted it so that it's the correct way, I believe. No, it didn't. It didn't work. Okay. Well, I tried. So what I want to do actually is I want to turn on the timer so that this thing will work. Timer block. Start. Now the thing's going to blink like mad, and it's just going to run the code, the lovely, lovely code we have here. Yes. So now that we've got that. Yeah, that's ingots. Yeah, that's fine. What we're going to do over here is we're going to go over here, and we're going to add TIM component. Making sure that I spelt that right. Yes. Now, next time that runs, that should change the thing, unless I've done something wrong, which is possible. Which is highly possible. Maybe it's a lower. No, it's not a lowercase. Oh, you have thing. Ah, so the reason why it's not really displaying is because. Do I need to do something? Text on screen on, font size, blah 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 blah. Okay, so you can see here that we've got our lovely thing. Ingots work fine. Fine ingots, they're beautiful. Components, however, because of the amounts of different types of components and the size, the spread, and all of that stuff, we need to merge these screens. That's why I've got a 3x2, 2x3 selection, which we'll also do over here because that's going to make it look nicer. So we'll be back in a second to demo that. Okay, so in order to manage to merge the LCD panels, what you need to do is you need to open up the area here. You see, getting there. And then what you want to do is span in capital letters and then :3:2. So span, the keyword, 3, which is the x value of the width that you want, and 2, which is the y value. Now if we do that, we've got some problems here. It seems like all of these aren't actually wanting to work, are they? Is it because you're not complete? Right, let's try this again. Oh, instant kills. That's not fun. Right, let's replace that, because that's just going to annoy me so much. Get this done. Good. And then I want you to be TIM component span, not spawn, span. 3, no, 3, for God's sake, 3, 2, close. Right, we're getting somewhere. These guys don't want to behave, but, you know, not many people do. I mean, what we could do, in fact, is we could go here. We could go here, rather, and then we could just go TIM component span, no, not spawn, span, which needs to be in caps, actually. And then we want to how to work better, right? Get rid of this. Right, at least that's a bit better. It's not the way that I'd like it, because this guy still isn't working. Come on, dude, we can get you working. We just need to break you again, then place you again. There we go. So you should see that it works, ish. I say ish, with a cold, hard stare. Anyway, there is a better way that we can do this. A singular LCD panel is fine for these because the names of them aren't long, whereas this, you've got arc reactor component. So yeah, what we're going to do instead is we're going to break them and replace them with their wider cousins. Wider cousins. Come on, get your game on. Cue Yu-Gi-Oh theme tune. Yeah, so if we do that and then weld them up again, because I have, for some reason, materials, what we can do is we can do the same. So Tim, component, span, 1, 2, since there's only 2 of them. And if we do that, then that should work. He says, there we go. Great success. So now we have a good look at how this is working. We only have 9 motors. That's kind of curious. Is that because we're out of something? So what we're out of is silver, platinum, we've got nickel, we've got a bit of uranium, not much, but a bit. The rest of them we're kind of fine on. Except iron, but we're fine on iron because we don't need more than 2 million. Anyway, so now that we've got this like wide LCD panels so that we can have a look and see in the glorious masterpiece of what the hell is going on, the next thing we want to do is we want to go over to the shipyard, and what we want to look at is cargo. Now we've got all of these, which is component priority 1, component priority 2, component priority 3. All of that. What we want to actually do, we want to change all of these so it says Tim at the front. Yes? Tim. You can see the pattern that is arising here. Now, what P means, in the old context, P meant priority. And if it's priority 1, then if priority 1 is full, then it goes to priority 2. If that's full, 3. If that's full, 4. Blah, 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 blah. You get the point. So I just need to fill the rest of these in. Okay, you know, all good. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to do ammo magazine. If I've spelled that right, which I think I have. Might not have, but that doesn't matter. And we can change that to Tim, and that should work. Okay, so now that we've done that, I just need to check if that worked, because if it didn't, then that's going to be annoying. No, it hasn't. It hasn't worked. Woe is me. Why not? Why is the question. Right, I'll be back in a second so I can find out why. Okay, so I've been looking at the guide for about a few minutes, and I'm getting the inclination that this inventory manager does not work well with our lovely nanite factories. Now, that is a problem, but I have a solution. If we fly all the way over to here, we can find that we have these lovely inventory modules, cargo containers. Why did I say inventory modules? So if we go all the way over to here, what one are you, sir? You are ore. Okay, well, I don't care about you. Let's go to the other side to see what that one is. What are you, sir? Ingot. Right, that will do. So if I throw stuff in here, from the nanite factory, it should disappear. There we go. Yes, it is working because it disappeared. Now, the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to spam everything. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go here. Yeah, so on the left-hand side, when I shift-click, it's going to go in here. Yes? Get it? Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spam left-click, empty all of the inventories that I can see into this cargo, and then every 5 seconds it should empty. Like that. Okay? Get the point? Good. Now, because, you know, things are the way they are, it is going to be quite annoying for me to have to clean these all the time. So what I want to check is to see if I can deal with this being annoying. We're currently not sorting guns for some reason. Or we might be out of space for guns. Let's see. Where's assault rifles? Are they called assault rifles? Automatic. Oh, right. Automatic rifles. So we've got, what? Tim, ammo magazine. We've got a thing in here. Let's throw this in here and throw this in here. Except those are going to there, which doesn't matter. Anyway, continue. We're continuing with the lovely things here. We want to hide empty and continue. you can see that this is going to take me quite a bit of time in order to finish this. So in the meantime, I'll be back in a second. Okay, we are back. So we have now got the inventory sorted, and I actually managed to find some thruster components that were not usable because they were hidden in a nanite factory that wasn't working because I don't goddamn know. Anyway, so you should see over here we've got, you know, quite a lot of stuff. Quite a lot of stuff indeed, so this should now actually be behaving properly. We've also got 3 modded items, which are the alloy plate, the arc fuel, and the arc reactor component, which is good. I think we also have heavy plate somewhere. Yes, dense steel plate over here. We've got no explosives because I'm a pacifist like that. And as you can see, we've got quotas galore. Now, the way that, well, currently what this is doing is it's sorting everything and it's telling me what I have, which is good. I mean, it's better than, you know, what it used to be, but there are things that we can do. One of which is we can go in. Shut up! I'm not low on energy. What we can do in here is we can go into here. Now these are LCD panels, and I don't know why you would think that this is correct by adding priority 1. What this does is it changes the view, and what this basically says is it has the minimum quantity, so the minimum amount of stuff that we can have, and then the minimum percent, which is actually quite low because these are ingots, not ores. But you can see that 88% of our stuff must be iron, apparently, which is good, except that, you know, that's kind of nice and all, but I'd rather this display to begin with, if you want to come back. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into here, and then we're going to add Tim ingot, and then we're going to add ingot priority 1 close. Don't use the square bracket, close. And then this should now display the other stuff. There we go. Now, since we don't have since we do have, you know, all this, what we can do is we can go into here, and we can also set up ores. Ooh, ores. Why would you ever do that? Because I feel like it. So we can go Tim ore. Yeah, we can go Tim ore, and then Tim ore priority 1. And then that should actually display stuff instead of displaying nothing. Unless you can't display ores, which would, you know, make sense. The other thing that we could do is we could display ammo magazine instead. Let's try that. Ammo magazine seal. Do that, and then that should display ammo magazine once the cycle has gone round. Or not. Possibly because this one's broken. Let's try it with the rest of them. Tim. Either that or I'm being stupid and I can't actually type worth a damn, which is possible. Ah, there we go. Yes, I was typing it correctly. So we can see all the different types of ammunition we have. Ooh. So we can also go into here and do the same. So Tim, ammo magazine, priority 1. And then if this one is working instead of not working, then that should be nice. And work. And work. Or not. Those who do not work properly die at my hand. Which is kind of, you know, evil, but what do you expect? So let's try that again. Tim, ammo, no, magazine, priority 1, close, done. There we go. So now we can see minimum quantities. That's good. I mean, this is fine here. We probably have. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to place an LCD panel here and an LCD panel here. This is going to be the quotas section for components. This is going to be the view section for components. And on the top here is view section for the other 3. So ingots, ores, and ammo magazine. And then these are the quota setters. And by quota setters, I'll show you in a second. So we have, you know, quota. So we have ingot, ammo magazine and ores if these things decide to work. Possibly you might need capitalization if unless I'm being lazy, which I probably am. Let's get rid of this and then let's replace it. Let's try that again, because for some reason things do not work out the way that I intend. That's probably because the universe loves to laugh at my face. You gonna work, or are you just gonna sit there sulking? You go sit there sulking. Well, that's fine. I can deal with you later. Back over to here, we can go Tim, component, and then we can go priority 1, and then span 1, 1, 2, like we did before, and then that should do that. And so now this should actually link up, and we can see all these minimum quantities that we have. However, quota is something else. I'm going to need to check that. But yeah, so now we can see all of this stuff. We can see the wonderful stuff. So, how the quotas work, okay, is I'll use ores as an example because that's easy to compare. So we've got our cobalt here. Yeah, we've got cobalt. We've got 246,000 of it. That's good. Now, the amount of ores in total is the sum of all of this. And what the quotas on the right hand side are currently doing they are pulling from the highest of either minimum quantity or minimum percentage. And because the minimum percentage of the total amount of ores, total amount of ingots that we have ever on the grid is larger than the minimum quantity set here, then it's going with the minimum percentage. Hence why we've got 6.18 million for iron. Now this is good. However, I would like to set some of my own quotas, if that would be all right, sir. So what I'm going to do is we can access this by pressing T, and then in minimum quantity we can change this. So I want, let's say, 200k. Yeah. So we do that. We wait for the tick over. There we go. It says 200,000, and now this should actually change to 200,000. Except it's not, because the minimum percentage is higher than that. So actually what we want to do is we want to change it to 3,000. Stupid person. So change that to 300,000. And then what should happen is the quota should change to 300,000 to reflect that, which is good. Which is very good. Which is excellent. So what we could do is we could do the same. So what we want, what we really want is we want 50k in gold. In iron we want around so what we can do actually is we can set minimum percentage to 0. Okay, 0. Yeah, see what I'm doing here? And what this will do is it will actually stop using the minimum percentage stuff and just focus on the stuff that I want it to do, which is the way that everything should work. So give it and then get rid of you, and then get rid of you, and then get rid of you, and get rid of you, and get rid of you. And so what this should do is, once I close it, all of these quotas should now change to their minimum quantity values, which is going to be much nicer for me. So I'm going to fill the rest of these in and do the same on this side, and then we should have our quotas done properly. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, we are back. So, oh, I've run out of energy. Meh. So what we've got is we have, you know, I've set up all of the quotas, so you can see for yourself. I've set all the minimum percentages to 0 because I do not give a damn about them, because I'd like to set my own. I've not set any quotas for these because they're none necessary. This is basically just, I want to see how much there are. We will, however, set up automated stuff later, either when we retrofit this ship or create the new shipyard. We'll you know, redo all of this stuff so that it looks pretty, because currently it doesn't. We've just got a flat wall and a small area in which we can run around and jump around. But anyway, you can see that we're kind of low on motors. Oh no, we've got 5,000 motors. What am I complaining about? We've got 18,000 arc fuel. We've got oh yeah, 0 explosives. Like the stuff that we're low on, you can see because these bars. We've got motors, hardly any. Explosives, 0. Detectors, 180, but that's fine. We don't use them. Arc fuel is lower than what I'd want because I want 100,000 arc fuel just in case. That's a really conditional just in case there. And then platinum, and then uranium. Platinum, uranium, arc fuel, all stuff that we need. So this will actually hopefully tell me what I actually need to get in terms of ores, which is good. So this will conclude this episode, because this episode is about inventory management. Next episode we'll do some automation of creating components and stuff, noting that this stuff should have been done ages ago, but because I'm lazy it hasn't, which is why we're doing it now. So yeah, automate the construction of all of these different components. I think I have enough assemblers, and that's a think. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, around 26. How many assemblers do we have? We have between 19 and 30, which is not 26. We don't have enough assemblers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have 18 out of the more that we need. So when we create the new shipyard, which will be later, a lot later actually, because this thing is working as intended, even though we're going to have to do things like this every now and then. Yeah, we're going to need more assemblers. I think I got rid of some assemblers, didn't I? Did I? Or was that get rid of some refineries? I can't remember. But yeah, this is how we're going to do it. And that will be done next episode. Until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.